What you just saw were two examples of the ideal flight path of what your gliders should be doing. When you release it, your glider should make a small downward angled flight path. It shouldn't fly horizontally, it should fly down, but it should fly in a straight line. If it does that, number one, your center of gravity where your binder clip is located, or your weights for your large scale glider, are at the correct location in terms of related to the center of lift. It also means you're throwing it at the correct speed and at the correct angle. Your plane shouldn't be angled up or it shouldn't be angled down. It should be more or less thrown horizontally and maybe a little down. Let's now look at a couple examples of how it shouldn't look, or non-ideal flight paths. The last examples you saw followed something like this, where the glider went up a little bit, slowed down, stalled, and then dropped. If the glider follows an upward curved path, the drag or resistance from the air is going to increase quite a bit, so much so that it slows the plane down, and if the plane slows down enough, it's going to stall and drop down. So either of these three flight paths in the blue would be called stalling. If this happens, maybe you're just throwing it wrong. You could just be throwing it so the wings are angled up, or you're just throwing it too fast. So remember, the amount of lift that gets generated over the wings depends on how fast it's thrown or how fast the air is flowing over the wings. If it's too fast, it might generate too much lift and it's going to actually curve upward. If it does that, it will also slow down too much and then stall and go down. So you want to follow that straight green line path like we talked about before. If your plane is stalling, maybe you're throwing it too fast. Throw it a little bit slower. Maybe you're not throwing it straight enough, or maybe you just need to slide the center of gravity forward on your plane, which either involves moving your wings backward or your binder clip forward.
Watch out.
The last examples of what you saw followed some kind of path that looked like this, where the plane didn't follow a straight line path, it was curving downward, and we call that diving. If this is the case, you shouldn't make any changes to your binder clip location or the center of gravity of the plane unless you throw it numerous times and there's overall something that's consistent that's happening. So if consistently your plane is angling down like this, you want to move the center of gravity on the plane backward. That means moving your binder clip location back, or leaving the binder clip where it's at. You can slide the wings forward. Let's see one last time what you're shooting for.